Yo guys, what is good? It's your boy Jamong here, back again with another video, and today we're unboxing one of the best sneaker releases of 2025. Alright, so it has been some time since I've done my last sneaker review. Just over the last couple of weeks, I have not been purchasing any sneakers. Ever since I got the Pine Green SB4s, I was pretty much set on sneakers that I needed this year. Now, there's definitely a couple that I'm looking towards copying in the near future. However, right now at the moment, it's kind of a dry spell for me. You know, at the moment, I don't really need sneakers for myself, and I kind of just want to save some money right now. But in today's video, we're going over a pickup that's not for me, but it's from my girlfriend Jasmine. Now, she saw this and she really liked the colorway of it, and honestly, I was a pretty big fan as well, and I wanted to get them in her size because I feel like she could definitely rock these. As you guys can see, this box is tiny, and I was able to snag a W on sneakers with this, so I'm really grateful for that. I feel like a couple of people weren't able to get W's. I mean, nevertheless, I think it was a pretty easy drop. I think a lot of people were able to get them if they wanted it. It came in pretty high quantities. But before I go about in opening this box, if you guys have not seen my most recent video where I talk about 5 of my unpopular opinions on sneakers, make sure to go check that out afterwards. I'll have it linked above and in the description down below, and make sure to go check that out because there are a lot of heavy statements there, and I want to know what you guys think at the end. But without further ado, let's get the box open because I'm excited to see what these look like in hand. Now, I was actually tempted to cop these in my size and rock them as personals. Honestly, it was just nothing that I really needed at the moment. I don't want to cop shoes just for the sake of copying them, just because, you know, there's something that's nice. I gotta be very selective about it because it's very easy with the amount that's releasing in the last couple of years just to cop the first thing that you see. It's not something, again, that I really need. All right, we got the box open. And as you guys can see, we have that beautiful purple Nike SB box. And let's get the box open in 3, 2, 1. Obviously, we have the wrapping paper. Let's review the shoe in 3, 2, 1. Sheesh! Yes, sir! Wow. These feel really nice. Oh man, these look cool. I feel like Jasmine is definitely going to be happy about this one. If not, then, I mean, I certainly like them. Maybe I should have got them in my size. Man, as you guys can see, we do have the Yuto Horigome SB Dunks in the Asparagus or Matcha colorway. These are actually really nice. Wow, the quality on this is just beautiful as well. Oh man. Oh shoot, I feel like I want these in my size now. I feel like they look better in person. The pictures just didn't do them justice, I'm telling you. Wow, oh man. Okay, this might have to be a future cop. Whoa. But yeah, again, going back to the shoe, this absolutely looks beautiful. I'm telling you, just the color scheme on this sneaker was executed so well. I thought that this green would be a little loud and a little obnoxious. I mean, it's in this neutral tone where I feel like this can be pulled off. Like, even with my outfit right now, I'm wearing a striped sweater and I'm wearing some dark olive green pants. If I just put this on, this would look really good on feet. Oh man, I'm so upset. Oh, this is so sad. Oh, guys, comment RIP in the chat for me, please, because I'm so sad and jealous for Jasmine right now. Now, going into the sneaker, I actually don't know too much about the background of the collaboration. I know that Yuto Horigome is a professional skateboarder. He competed in the Olympics. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I actually had a bunch of different takes and kind of butchering his name when I was, you know, doing the shoe up front. And I actually did some research on who he was, and I looked at his age, and this guy is like 26 years old. So he's only a year older than I am, and this guy literally gets a whole collaboration with Nike SB. I feel like that is very successful for someone as young as him. And I could be wrong, but this is his second take on the Nike SB Dunks. Before, we saw the gray pair release, which honestly, that one was kind of underwhelming. There wasn't a whole ton that was going on with this. However, with this new pair, with this matcha or asparagus pair, depending on what you want to call it, this green is a lot more unique and a lot more bold. And I think that this is definitely a statement sneaker. I think just looking at all the materials that were made in the construction of the sneaker, as well as the color blocking on this, everything about this sneaker is very nice. And yeah, when we saw pictures released of these on Instagram, Jasmine sent them to me and she was a pretty big fan of them. At first, I was like, I don't really know about the green. I feel like it's kind of like almost a booger kind of shade. Didn't know if it was something that I could rock, but after seeing more pictures and especially seeing the different laces that they come with, I personally would not put the green laces in because I feel like that just makes the whole sneaker look like it's one tone. I would actually put in a different shade, and I'll go into that later on as I go into the laces. But yeah, it kind of grew on me and I really wanted Jasmine to have the sneakers, so I decided to pick it up for her. I would say when it comes to Nike SB anything, it's always going to be a crowd favorite. You know, Nike SB just always does well with their sneakers. Nowadays with Nike SB Dunks, they're not as popular. You know, I remember a lot of people were just settling for regular Nike Dunks, but the SBs were something else. And now that they're a little more saturated on the market, SBs are not as popular, but still I would say that they are nevertheless a clean staple to have in anyone's collection. And in case you guys didn't know, the differences between the Nike Dunk and the SB Dunks is that the Nike Dunks were originally made for basketball. However, the SB Dunks were designed for skateboarding. Now they do have a little puffy tongue here, which is supposed to be a little more cushioning for when people are skateboarding. I mean, in my opinion, this sneaker was perfectly executed. The color scheming kind of reminds me a little bit of Baby Yoda's color scheme. Not even Baby Yoda, maybe just like regular Yoda. And the turntable is dead. Let's have a moment of silence, please. But with that being said, let's take a detailed look into the sneaker. So starting off with the upper, we do have this nubuck leather construction in this matcha shade of green. But as we look a little closer, we do have some darker spots that is kind of like in this darker shade of green as well. And it kind of reminds me of, like, you know when as a kid you ate like Jelly Belly and the juicy pear flavor was always the best flavor? It's become a fact at this point. And this sneaker just reminds me so much of the juicy pear flavor because it has those little spots. But as we transition over to the toe box of the sneaker, we do have the suede construction in this tan colorway. Now it's in this neutral tone that kind of complements the matcha tone that's above it. Now moving over to the side profile of the sneaker, we do have an olive green swoosh in leather. And again, I feel like it's like a different shade of green as opposed to the matcha green, but still it is very complementary towards the rest of the color blocking. Now under it, we do have that tan shade once again. However, it's in a different construction as opposed to the very soft and buttery suede. This time it's more in this dried out suede. So just think of like if you had a pair of suede sneakers and you just like soaked them in water, you went on the raid in them and they got really dried up. This is how it feels. It almost feels like sandpaper. However, moving towards the back corner of the sneaker, we do have the Yuto Horigome logo, which is two feathers overlapped on one another inside a black circle. I feel like it's a very subtle touch to the collaboration. There was nothing crazy that they did to make the collaboration known other than putting his branding right here. And again, I believe it's debossed into the sneaker. As we move over to the back profile of the sneaker, we do have this canvas material in brown that is stitched in on top of our matcha green. Again, this is an earth tone that kind of complements the green as well. And then moving over to the heel of the sneaker, we do have a yellow suede that is under the embroidered Nike logo in gold. Now, as we move over to the laces of the sneaker, we have some rope laces in this matcha green colorway that is basically the same tone as the rest of the shoe. Personally, for me, I would not keep the green laces in because they kind of look a little boring to me. Instead, the sneaker also comes with additional laces such as the cream laces, which I may consider Jasmine putting in. But I really want her to also look into this pink or salmon colored laces as well. I feel like these two are very great choices. The pink kind of like contrasts to the rest of the green, making it look like kind of like a watermelon shade. Maybe I might tell her to do one pink, one cream. I think that that's also very nice as well. I think the sneaker has so much green already that it just doesn't need more green to it. But knowing Jasmine, she's very simple and she likes to keep it neutral, so she's probably going to put in the cream laces at the end of the day. But one cool feature that I noticed about the lace area is that on the top of the lace holes, only on the outer profile of the sneaker, we have this little metallic ring around the utmost top one. It's not seen on any other ones on the inside or on the bottom, but only on the top. And then moving over to the tongue, again, we have this very puffy, fat tongue that Nike SBs are known for. Now moving over to the tongue tab of the sneaker, we do have the Nike SB logo written in olive green. Underneath that, we have Yuto Horigome's name written in as well. And these are all on top of a cream or brownish tag. And I've got to mention that on the inner of the tongue, we do have the Yuto Horigome logo once again, this time in white. And then as we move into the inner of the sneaker, we do have a suede sock lining, which is in this beige. I feel like I've been calling it cream, but it's actually more in this beige tone. Because it's made out of this suede construction, it's supposed to make the sneaker a lot more comfortable. Trust me when I say that this is a very soft suede. I feel like if you ever seen like those suede couches where they just feel so buttery and soft, you run your finger across them and you can kind of see that streak that you leave behind. It feels just like that. And then as we move into the insoles of the sneaker, this is actually a very thick yet firm insole that we have here. I don't know if this is all that comfortable. I know that there's a lot of layer to it, but we'll see how it feels on feet. I mean, actually Jasmine will see how it feels on feet. And then as we look into the design of the insoles, this is some artwork that we see here, probably signature for Yuto Horigome's collaboration. Now towards the back end of the insole, we do have the Nike SB logo, followed by his own logo. And then finally, as we move into the outsole of the sneaker, we do have our signature Nike SB patterning that we see on pretty much every other Nike SB. And this is in that matcha colorway. But one thing that really stands out is that pink in the middle right here. We don't see that pink anywhere else on the sneaker, but this somehow just kind of matches with the rest of the tone. Now again, they come with some pink laces, which probably do the job of matching with the outsole. But still, I like how they added this little touch. They made it pink for it to kind of give it a little pop of color. Overall, this is a very beautiful sneaker. And again, I'm kind of upset that I didn't go for my size. I probably would have kept them. And who knows, maybe I might grow so full of regret in the future that I might just force myself to pull the trigger. But yup, there we have it, the Yuto Horigome Nike SB Dunks in the matcha colorway. And like I said before, I truly think that this is one of the best sneaker releases that we've seen in 2025 by far. You know, I think this year Nike has just re-released so many old colorways that we've seen in the past. And again, it's just overwhelming, it's tiring. Instead, I want to see something unique. I feel like we have not seen a shade of green in a Nike Dunk like this. But now I'd like to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on the Yuto SB Dunks? Do you agree that they are one of the best sneakers that we've seen this year? Or do you think that they're trash? Leave a comment down below because I do want to hear from you guys. And as always, if you guys like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys want to hear more from me, smash the subscribe button because more will be on the way. Again, these are the Yuto SB Dunks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!